running back Jonathan Williams, formerly of the Indianapolis Colts, as well as the Buffalo Bills. Travis Troxel, what do you think about this signing?
It's a solid signing. I mean, it's a depth move. It could be a practice squad guy. That's what I'm having more or less the feeling about him. But who knows? You got Ty Johnson, you got Jason Huntley, and then Jonathan Williams. It could be a 3-man battle for that last spot on the roster. I think that they're only going to carry at least one of those three. Outside of your usual suspects of Kerryon, DeAndre Swift, and Bo Scarborough. I think they carry about 4 running backs, and it could be Jonathan Williams, it could be Jason Huntley or Ty Johnson, and he did all right, but he needs to be on the field more. He's played, but he's only played in small situations. I need to see him game in, game out, getting at least respectable touches.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you there. Antonio Hightower, I'm really curious to see, what do you think about the signing of Jonathan Williams? Do you think this is a signing to pay attention for, or is this a camp body?
Actually, I think this could be a sign to pay attention for, because I think he could go after Bo Scarborough's job.
Come on, man.
Yes,
come on.
Yes, that Bo Scarborough, who's not that great.
Oh my God,
it's never been that great. But yeah, I definitely think he can go after Bo Scarborough's job as the power back. I don't think he offers as much power as Bo, but Bo doesn't offer that much power anyway. He's a lot more athletic though, especially his cuts, his burst. But yeah, I think he can go after Bo's spot specifically.
It'll be interesting to see when Jonathan Williams get beat up by Bo Scarborough, because Bo Scarborough is going to decimate him, and I'm not even worried about that at all. But hey, it's nice to see that this man decide to make a team. TA and Noble Sports, what do you think about the signing of Jonathan Williams?
I think nothing about it. Basically, I think he's just a camp body, and he's gonna be in there to compete because they got all these guys in there. But how is he gonna make the run? How is he gonna make the team when you got Swift, Kerryon, not only Kerryon, you got Huntley, and you got Johnson and Bo Scarborough? No way he makes this team. No way he makes this roster. He's gonna have to do something really, really phenomenal to make the roster. I just think that he's a camp body.
Anthony Mazzano, welcome to the chat. Colton Dark, welcome. CDub207, get your questions ready at 8 p.m. Eastern time. We will go to you for questions. Steve-O says, what's up, fellas? Hit that like button. Please hit that like button. Smash it. I want us to get to 20. I see we're at 15. Let's get to 20 time meow.
Hey, we got 30 people in the chat. Let's get to at least 30 thumbs up.
Well, we got 34 now. We got 34. So
hey,
get those chats up. The Gridiron Blitz, welcome in here. I appreciate you. Jonathan Williams, I don't think much of it, folks. I don't think he's going to make a whole lot of impact. Am I going to take him over Kerryon Johnson? No. Am I going to take him over DeAndre Swift? We just took this guy in the second round. No, it's not happening. Bo Scarborough, are we going real talk? No. He's not Bo Scarborough. Bo Scarborough.
Not a chance.
Some noise.
Yes.
Ty Johnson, possibly, but I don't see them doing that. We didn't draft Huntley, for that fact. I think Huntley is more in a position for that. Now, Nick Bawden? Yeah, I can see him.
Hey, Nick Bawden's making the team.
Nick Bawden,
put that on the front
team.
He'll make a team.
Hey, he's making the Detroit Lions team. Put that on the front page, back page, columns 1 and 2. Yes, I am guaranteeing this.
Yeah, Nick Bawden's got the longest shot to make this team, as much as I have a shot to make the team. Put in there, do you guys think that Nick Bawden's make the team? Put Y for yes, N for no. I am curious to see how many people are drinking the Kool-Aid for Travis Troxel, how many people's got that Mike Will, that normal knowledge when it comes to this. So no doubt about it, man. So yeah, Jonathan Williams, I'm not too worried about this guy. I think it's a camp body. And at least that seems to be the majority panel, except for Antonio Hightower. He's a little bit crazy. Mark Oram from Orem's Forum, what do you think about Jonathan Williams to the Detroit Lions? What do you think about this signing? He thinks, he has no idea. Hey. Well, since he can't speak, I see some people say, I think Bott is making the team. Big D says no. Grid says yes. I think he was a beast in college. Okay. We got some people thinking that he could. I think right now the appreciation as he can. That's interesting because I don't think, no. TJ Hockenson, though, is looking good in camp. He had that ankle surgery. He's had that concussion issue, but he is looking good in camp right now, Travis Troxel. Do you think he can start week 1? Do you think he is healthy to be good to go for our beloved Detroit Lions?
Let me think. Absolutely, he's going to make it for week 1. You drafted him 8th overall a year ago. He did have surgery. He did have a breakout last year, week 1. So absolutely, he's going to play week 1. And he's going to tear it up. And he's going to be the guy that puts himself and all tight ends on the map in Detroit. He's going to be like, look, if you want to play, you got to perform. What you guys doing? Let's go and perform. And we got to stop hopping over players.
Yes. We got to stop hopping over players. TJ Hockenson, I'm happy for TJ Hockenson. To me, the ankle injury wasn't the biggest deal. In my opinion, I wasn't too worried about it. My biggest issue was the concussion. Stop hopping. Okay, you're not a rabbit. You're not B Rabbit. Yes, you're in Detroit. But knock it off, bro. You're a big body. And when the bigger you are, the harder you fall. We don't need you to do that, TJ. We need you to catch the ball, not fall on your big head, okay? No more sacks to the face. None of that, TA Noble Sports. What do you hear about, what do you think about TJ Hockenson looking fairly good in camp? And obviously the ankle injury looks to be something of the past.
Man, I hope that's, you know, with TJ Hockenson, this is the only thing I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about him going out on the field and performing. I know he's looking good in camp, but let's put the camp to the side. I want him to go out there and dominate on the field. And I want Stafford to be able to use him more this season. Long as Stafford stays upright, I want to be able to see TJ Hockenson do what TJ Hockenson could do. And that's block good and go out there and catch the football. That's what I want from Hockenson this year. And hopefully he will not have any injuries that will stop him from having a very, very productive season for the Lions, because you need TJ Hockenson. When you're picking somebody at the 8th overall on the team, and you're bringing them on the team, you want them guys to make an impact. So my biggest thing out of TJ Hockenson is I just want him to make a meaningful impact this season.
Now, Jacob Ludlow, welcome. He says, yeah, just truck. That's what TJ can do. He can truck, folks. And if you've seen Matthew Stafford, he tends to truck some folks too, even for a quarterback. Absolutely love it, man. And yeah, what about you? Oh, Hater House, welcome, man. He says, good one. Yes, I have 2 rabbits. Love it. What do you think about this Antonio Hightower when it comes to TJ Hockenson? Do you think that is a good sign that he's getting up in there? He's starting to get the blood flowing. He's running the routes. Are you concerned about his ankle? Do you think he starts week 1? Is he good to go? What do you think?
I haven't been concerned because I had already seen he was working out with George Kittle like a couple months ago. So I already heard he had been running routes. I already, heard his ankle was pretty good. I think he will start week 1. Now, how good he'd be, I don't know, because Darrell Bevell don't know how to use tight ends, but that's a whole nother thing. But yeah, I think he's going to be healthy, and I think he's definitely going to start week 1.
That's an interesting fact that you talk about how Darrell Bevell does not utilize tight ends or doesn't know how to. That's something he needs to improve on, in my opinion. We have Jesse James. We have TJ Hockenson. These guys need to get the ball. Folks, we have 35 in the chat, only 20 likes. Smash that like button. Do you think TJ Hockenson is good to go? Hit that like button if you believe so. And if you don't believe so, hit that like button because Micro said so. And that's the bottom line. And, hey, TA Noble Sports, you've been talking about this all day. And that was the fact of there's 2 rookies that's looking really good in camp.
Yeah.
One being DeAndre Swift, my favorite pick. And number 2 is Quintez Cephus, the wide receiver, the 5th pick. Give me your thoughts. What do you think, man? Because that's good news.
Yeah, man, that's definitely good news. What I heard from Patricia today in that interview really, really sparked some interest in my mind that Swift has an opportunity to compete for that number 1 job. And I'm definitely happy that he has the opportunity, but I want to kind of slow down and pump my brakes a little bit because I know all of us as fans, we're ecstatic to see what Swift can do and what his capabilities are. But definitely, man, we have to make sure that when Swift gets out there, he's doing what he needs to do, and that's to learn that playbook, and that's to learn what he needs to do, because when you're coming in as a running back, you're learning so much information, and you have to retain all this stuff. You got to know how to block. You got to know how to go out and catch passes. So it's a lot of stuff that Swift has to learn. So maybe they may just keep Kerryon at the number one, but I think that Patricia is going to give him an opportunity to be that number one guy. And with Cephus, he was kind of marveled with him as well, saying that Cephus was doing pretty well in the training camp. And that's what you want to hear, that your rookies are playing pretty good and they're making an impact. And they said that those two guys right there have been making impacts out there. We know it's just training camp, but they are looking very, very good out there.
Anthony, I promise I will get to your question in 41 minutes. I promise that at 8 o'clock, you guys run the show. It's mailbag segment. You tell me what you want us to ask, and we will get to you. Travis Troxel, DeAndre Swift, Quintez Cephus, turning heads. Initial thoughts, man.
Hey, let's go. Let's go. Hey, we need these young guys to perform. If we're gonna go and make a deep run in this season, make it for the playoffs, make a deep run for the playoffs, and actually win games in the playoffs, you need these young guys to be, right up there with your veterans. If you can do that with these younger legs, you can actually go out and actually win a football game in the playoffs. But it's gonna start with DeAndre Swift. It's gonna start with Kerryon staying healthy. It's going to start with, Cephus making a role for himself this season. It's going to take all hands on deck. And, if we can continue to stay relatively healthy, we definitely got a shot.
Yes. And look, I totally get it. What about you, Antonio Hightower? What do you think about how that DeAndre Swift and Quintez Cephus is turning heads? You talked about last week about Quintez Cephus, how you feel that he could be really making a big impact next year for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, I really like Cephus coming out the draft. He don't got, he's not the fastest receiver, but he's pretty explosive, which is more important. He's a great route runner, got great big strong hands.
Mm-hmm.
He even blocks, which most receivers don't do anymore. You even heard it himself. Ohio's Okudah and Arnett both said like he was the hardest receiver I had to go against all year, and those two were first round corners. Even though I don't think Arnett should have been a first round corner, but yeah, Cephus is just a really good player. I know he went low because of his speed, but like you can't really focus on that. I mean, Kenny Golladay isn't that fast. Michael Thomas isn't that fast. You can make a living in the NFL other than speed, even though it's like the most coveted thing now. I think we sometimes pay too much attention to speed. And Swift, I love Swift coming out the draft. He was my second. He was my number 2 running back coming out before Etienne went back to Clemson. I loved him. I like his receiving ability probably the most. That actually might be his most valuable asset is what he offers in the receiving game other than the running game, even though he's great in the running game. And I think he's also a great complementary back to what Kerryon does, because the things that he struggles at, Kerryon picks up the slack and does and excels at those things, and vice versa for Kerryon. So I kind of expected that. I kind of expected them to do well. And then I saw that Swift was going against our linebackers, and I thought, he better dominate our linebackers. They can't cover nothing. They can't cover a blade of grass, especially Gerard Davis. And they wouldn't even go against Tavai or Collins. I kind of expected that, but still, it's nice to hear they good news coming out of camp.
When it comes to Cephus, when it comes to these guys that's going to be looking for the future of our team, DeAndre Swift, I love this guy in this draft. We all know how much I love this guy. I mocked him to the Detroit Lions, a perfect individual to place in this squad. Behind this offense, we need to have a running team. We need to have a running game. We've not had a running game that was effective since Javid Best before he got injured. That was crucial to get a running game. That's why when we got DeAndre Swift, to me, he was the number 1 running back. Can't believe he fell to us in the second round. He is going to complement this offense big time. He is going to make this offense a balanced offense. We talk about balance. Why is balance important? It rests the defense. I say it every single time because it's important. The big guys up front, the offensive defensive linemen, you need to get rest. How do you do that with balance with the running game? DeAndre Swift is a very talented running back in this year's draft, and he fits perfectly in Darrell Bevell's offense. He fits perfectly with the Matthew Stafford type of quarterback, where you can do the plays essential for this. He is going to be great with these wide receivers. That's going to give him separation. We're going to talk about the duo a little bit, but this is exactly what we've been talking about. And DeAndre Swift is my favorite player in this draft, and he is going to bring a talent to a much-needed offense. What makes me so happy about Cephus? This guy, 5th-round pick. Can he be the Amani Oruwariye, a 5th-round stud that comes out of nowhere and does well? I think he can. I think he's in the developmental stage as of right now. You need to develop him. But this is the perfect situation. He doesn't need to be the number 1, the number 2, number 3, number 4 guy. He can learn behind the greats of Marvin Jones Jr. He can learn behind Danny Amendola, the veteran. He can learn by the up-and-comer in Kenny Galladay. Perfect situation. And we develop wide receivers for the Detroit Lions. Quintez Cephus is set for excellence. And I think this year you're going to see him develop. And I think next year he can replace Danny Amendola and be that young body that Matthew Stafford can pick apart next year